Some stories are about speed. Others are about endurance. But a few manage to capture something deeper. Something that lives in the intersection of heritage and engineering nerve. In an era obsessed with electric promises and digital dashboards, there remains a machine that reminds us why the connection between driver and road still matters. It is not about horsepower bragging rights or nostalgic chrome. It is about purpose built into every curve and click of the gearshift. When a vehicle balances precision, history, and raw emotion, it becomes more than transportation. It becomes an artifact of design courage. Today, we unpack one such creation, a model that defined its decade by refusing to follow trends and instead setting its own mechanical rhythm. Stay with me to explore how it came to be, how it evolved, and why it still stirs passion years after production ended. And if you enjoy deep dives like this, remember to like, subscribe, and comment which machine you want covered next. The BMW M3 E46 emerged at the dawn of the new millennium as more than a performance coupe. It was a declaration of intent. Introduced for the 2000 model year, it bridged analog precision and modern engineering in a way that very few cars have managed since. At its core was a naturally aspirated straight-six engine, the S54, a 3.2-liter masterpiece that produced 333 horsepower for the North American market and slightly more in Europe. It was not just the numbers that defined it. It was the way the engine built power, how it climbed through the rev range with mechanical purity, and how it communicated through every vibration and tone. The E46 M3 was not the first of its lineage, but it marked a crucial turning point, one that captured the balance between everyday usability and motorsport credibility. The chassis was refined to near perfection. The steering remained hydraulic, precise, and unfiltered, and the car's weight distribution achieved near-perfect balance. For enthusiasts, it represented the final era before electronic interference became common. The design of the BMW M3 E46 revealed subtle aggression. Its wider fenders, functional hood bulge, and quad exhaust tips were statements of purpose without excess. BMW's M division did not need wild spoilers or exaggerated graphics. Instead, it crafted something timeless. The coupe's proportions struck harmony between elegance and athleticism, its stance low but approachable. Inside, the focus was equally restrained. Supportive sport seats, a driver-oriented cockpit, and analog gauges with amber illumination reinforced its mission. What made the E46 M3 so compelling was how it blurred the line between high-performance machine and daily driver. You could commute in it comfortably, yet within seconds, unleash a track-ready personality that rewarded skill and precision. Every input mattered. The car demanded engagement but never punished mistakes too harshly. That fine-tuned calibration made it not just a driver's car but a teacher in driving discipline. Underneath, the suspension geometry and limited slip differential transformed theory into experience. BMW engineers spent extensive hours refining the multi-link rear suspension introduced with the E46 platform. This configuration allowed exceptional cornering stability while maintaining ride comfort. It was sophisticated yet honest. With traction control that could be fully disabled, experienced drivers could explore the limits of balance and throttle control in a way few modern cars still allow. The M3's braking system, ventilated discs at all corners, provided confidence lap after lap, translating heat into consistency rather than fade. Even 2 decades later, few performance cars deliver feedback this clear. When launched, the BMW M3 E46 also faced scrutiny. Some purists worried the larger dimensions would dilute its character compared to the lighter E36. Others debated the introduction of the SMG2 gearbox, a single-clutch automated manual that promised Formula One-inspired shifts. In practice, the SMG divided opinion. It could deliver rapid gear changes under load but felt clunky in traffic. It demanded adaptation. Still, paired with the S54 engine, it offered a distinct experience, a raw mechanical rhythm that rewarded timing and awareness. Many enthusiasts, however, gravitated toward the traditional 6-speed manual, finding its engagement irreplaceable. Performance numbers tell part of the story. 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 4.8 seconds, a top speed electronically limited to 155 miles per hour, and a chassis that handled both city streets and racetracks with equal confidence. But statistics alone never explained the E46's magnetism. What truly mattered was its consistency. Whether carving through alpine roads or idling through urban traffic, it never lost its composure. Every journey became an event, a dialogue between human intent and machine feedback. The more time spent behind the wheel, the clearer its philosophy became. Driving pleasure built not from power excess, but from proportion and precision. Over time, the BMW M3 E46 earned recognition from critics and fans alike. It became a benchmark for handling feel and engine response, a symbol of the era when cars were still largely mechanical yet refined enough for modern expectations. Car magazines called it one of the greatest sports coupes ever built. Track enthusiasts praised its balance. Collectors began viewing it as a future classic long before production ended. It was not exotic in the supercar sense, yet it offered performance levels accessible to those who valued driver connection over status. What set the E46 M3 apart was its emotional honesty. The steering told you everything about the road surface. The engine sang a metallic crescendo that encouraged revs. The rear wheels communicated their grip limits with clarity. It was a machine built for trust, rewarding smooth inputs and punishing laziness with gentle reminders rather than sharp corrections. Even at modest speeds, it created satisfaction. Even in mundane conditions, it felt alive. BMW M's approach during the E46 M3's development also deserves attention. Engineers worked under tight constraints, balancing performance goals with emission standards and production costs. The result was a masterclass in prioritization. They kept hydraulic steering, resisted excessive electronic filters, and preserved a naturally aspirated engine when many competitors turned to forced induction. These decisions gave the E46 M3 its soul. The car did not need to shout to be noticed. Its excellence spoke through execution. Cultural impact followed naturally. The BMW M3 E46 became a fixture in automotive media, motorsport, and pop culture. It appeared in video games, films, and enthusiast forums where owners shared tuning insights and track experiences. The model's presence in grassroots motorsport cemented its credibility. Racers discovered its durability and balance could handle high loads with minimal modification. Meanwhile, collectors began noticing how clean examples retained value exceptionally well, signaling its transition from used sports car to modern classic. Behind the wheel, the sensation was not just speed but involvement. Every shift, every steering correction, every throttle input became part of a feedback loop that reminded drivers of their role in the equation. There was nothing passive about the experience. The car's character encouraged focus. It demanded respect without intimidation. That balance of accessibility and challenge is rare in any era. Even its imperfections became part of its legend. The subframe issue, where rear mounting points could fatigue over time, became a known maintenance ritual for enthusiasts. Far from diminishing its status, this quirk reinforced the intimacy between car and owner. Those who repaired and reinforced their chassis became caretakers of mechanical heritage. It was not just ownership. It was stewardship. As the years passed, the E46 M3's relevance grew rather than faded. Modern cars became faster, quieter, more insulated, but also more distant. Drivers began longing for the immediacy that defined this model. That nostalgia was not about resisting progress. It was about preserving connection. The E46 M3 had achieved what few vehicles manage: timelessness. It stood as a reminder that performance is not measured by digital metrics, but by the pulse it gives the person behind the wheel. From every perspective, engineering, design, emotion, the BMW M3 E46 remains a cornerstone in automotive history. The BMW M3 E46 carried its philosophy into the real world with striking results. From racetracks to public roads, it became a case study in versatility. One reason lies in how its chassis geometry and power delivery complemented each other. The S54 engine produced its best work between 5,000 and 8,000 revolutions per minute, demanding commitment but rewarding skill. It turned every corner exit into a conversation between throttle modulation and rear axle feedback. The car's naturally aspirated nature made every response predictable. There was no sudden surge of boost, just linear, intuitive thrust. This made it as much a teacher as a tool for experienced drivers. In the early 2000s, the BMW M3 E46 stood against an evolving automotive world. Rivals began relying on turbocharging for efficiency and higher torque, but BMW doubled down on purity. Engineers focused on reducing rotational mass, optimizing intake resonance, and refining valve timing with Vano's technology. These technical decisions defined how the car felt under load, especially during extended track sessions where consistency mattered more than peak output. The sound signature became iconic, a metallic rasp that intensified as revs climbed, ending in a mechanical crescendo unique to the M3 lineage. For many, that sound became an emotional trigger, a sensory link to an era before exhaust tuning and artificial sound design. The weight balance of the BMW M3 E46 contributed just as much to its legend. With an even front-to-rear distribution and a stiff yet compliant structure, it offered both agility and stability. This combination allowed the car to pivot eagerly through tight corners without feeling twitchy at high speed. The suspension tuning was firm enough for performance driving yet refined enough for long highway stretches. That duality gave the E46 M3 real-world credibility. It was not a weekend-only car. It was a performance coupe capable of daily duty, road trips, and track sessions without compromise. For enthusiasts, maintenance of the BMW M3 E46 became a rite of passage. Regular valve adjustments, precise oil monitoring, and bearing replacements were all part of ownership. Instead of scaring drivers away, these needs attracted a community of owners who took pride in maintaining mechanical excellence. They understood that craftsmanship demands care, and in return, the car delivered unmatched reliability under spirited use. The connection between owner and machine deepened as a result. Cars like this turned drivers into mechanics, not by necessity but by curiosity. In motorsport, the E46 M3 proved its worth beyond the showroom floor. The M3 GTR, a racing version built under homologation rules, introduced a V8 powerplant for competition but shared the same fundamental chassis DNA. On circuits like the Nürburgring and Sebring, it showcased how adaptable the platform could be when tuned for extremes. That racing success reflected directly on the road car's credibility. It was evidence that the engineering was more than marketing. Even in endurance events, where reliability mattered as much as speed, the M3 architecture held its ground. Culturally, the BMW M3 E46 transcended its specifications. It became a symbol for enthusiasts who valued mechanical feel over electronic assistance. In an age when stability programs, adjustable dampers, and digital displays were spreading rapidly, the E46 M3 felt refreshingly straightforward. Its simplicity made it timeless. The manual gearbox, analog gauges, and tactile feedback created a form of authenticity that enthusiasts began to miss in newer models. As technology advanced, the E46 remained an anchor to what driving used to mean. Collectors noticed this shift early. As production ended in 2006, demand for clean, unmodified examples began to rise. The market recognized that this generation represented the last naturally aspirated straight-six M3 before forced induction became standard. Low-mileage models, especially those with manual transmissions and rare color combinations, started appreciating in value. What began as a driver's car quietly evolved into an investment-grade classic. Yet its worth was never just financial. It was emotional, tied to memories of connection and freedom. Driving the BMW M3 E46 today reveals why it continues to inspire such devotion. Modern performance cars may offer faster acceleration and smarter traction systems, but few deliver the same tactile clarity. Each steering movement feels alive, each gear shift deliberate. The feedback loop between driver and machine remains pure, unfiltered by layers of software. On winding roads, it becomes evident why the M3 badge carries such weight. It is not simply about performance figures. It is about how those figures translate into experience. BMW's engineering philosophy during the E46 M3's development emphasized balance over brute force. Rather than chase headline power outputs, the team prioritized responsiveness and chassis integration. The suspension bushings, steering rack ratio, and even tire compounds were selected to deliver progressive communication. This meticulous attention to detail gave the car a natural rhythm that modern electronic systems struggle to replicate. The result was harmony between engine, steering, and suspension. A mechanical orchestra tuned to perfection. The community surrounding the BMW M3 E46 played a significant role in keeping its spirit alive. Enthusiast forums, track day events, and restoration specialists all contributed to a culture of preservation. Owners swapped tips on bearing upgrades, suspension refreshes, and OEM restoration techniques. This collective knowledge ensured that even decades later, the E46 remains one of the most supported performance cars in the world. It stands as proof that when a machine earns genuine respect, people will go to extraordinary lengths to keep it running as intended. The legacy of the BMW M3 E46 also influenced design and engineering philosophy across the industry. Many modern sports cars aim to recapture its balance between engagement and usability. Manufacturers reference it when benchmarking steering feel, gearbox precision, and throttle response. Even as technology evolves, the E46's DNA lingers like a gold standard of driver interaction. Few vehicles since have matched its ability to blend daily comfort with track-ready performance without compromise. As ownership shifts toward collectors and dedicated enthusiasts, the BMW M3 E46 remains surprisingly approachable. Parts availability, detailed service guides, and specialist workshops make restoration accessible. The car's mechanical straightforwardness means that careful maintenance ensures longevity. Its body structure, while aging, still holds rigidity that allows modern upgrades without losing authenticity. Many owners focus on reversible modifications, coilovers, exhaust tuning, brake upgrades, to enhance the experience without diminishing its originality. This balance between preservation and personalization keeps the car culturally relevant. Time has also reframed the BMW M3 E46 as a symbol of resistance against automotive homogenization. In an age where driving is increasingly automated, it celebrates the art of manual control. Its appeal cuts across generations. Younger enthusiasts discover it through digital media, while veterans remember it as the last analog hero from a transitional era. The result is a shared respect that bridges age, geography, and background. The BMW M3 E46 represents more than a chapter in automotive evolution. It is a turning point between two eras. By the mid-2000s, manufacturers faced growing emissions regulations, safety mandates, and customer expectations for comfort and connectivity. These pressures reshaped how performance cars were engineered. Yet, during its production run from 2000 to 2006, the E46 M3 resisted the shift toward digital mediation. It offered precision through mechanics rather than algorithms. That decision, deliberate and perhaps stubborn, became the reason it remains celebrated today. To understand the BMW M3 E46 in full, it helps to explore its emotional footprint. Every owner remembers the first time the S54 engine spun past 7,000 revolutions per minute, the distinctive metallic resonance filling the cabin. It was an experience that defined involvement. The absence of artificial sound reinforcement made the tone feel pure, mechanical, authentic. The clutch pedal transmitted weight. The shifter moved with mechanical tactility. The steering offered feedback so granular that even minor road imperfections became part of the narrative. Each drive reminded the person behind the wheel that this was not just a car but a partner in rhythm. In motorsport, that rhythm translated to measurable success. Private teams entered BMW M3 E46 models in touring car and endurance events across Europe and North America. The consistency of the chassis allowed for extensive tuning without destabilizing balance. Even when heavily modified for competition, the essence of the M3 remained. Its adaptability made it a favorite among racers seeking reliability under intense loads. Decades later, many of those cars still compete, often against newer, more powerful machines, yet still admired for their poise and predictability. The cultural side of the BMW M3 E46 expanded far beyond racetracks. It became an icon in early 2000s media, representing attainable performance and understated style. Video games, magazines, and online communities immortalized it. The E46 generation coincided with the rise of digital car culture, where enthusiasts could share experiences globally. That exposure elevated its status from a regional favorite to an international benchmark. Whether in Tokyo, Los Angeles, or Munich, the sight of an E46 M3 in motion evokes universal recognition. Part of the car's enduring influence lies in its design restraint. The BMW M3 E46 avoided the excesses that often define performance icons. Its body lines were taut but timeless. Its dimensions practical yet athletic. The styling aged gracefully, free from trends that dated many contemporaries. Inside, the materials and ergonomics reflected precision rather than opulence. Everything served a function. The result was a form of elegance rooted in purpose. As the years passed, that restraint became a design lesson. Confidence expressed through understatement lasts longer than spectacle. The technical foundation of the BMW M3 E46 continues to inform modern engineering. The linearity of its power band, the geometry of its control arms, the calibration of its limited slip differential. All are studied by enthusiasts and engineers seeking to replicate its balance. Even with modern materials and electronics, few cars achieve the same harmony. It is not just nostalgia. It is a measurable combination of proportion, tuning, and mechanical feedback that remains relevant in the era of electrification. Beyond mechanics, the human stories around the BMW M3 E46 sustain its legend. Owners form deep connections that transcend ownership cycles. Some restore them to factory perfection, preserving originality down to factory decals. Others build track-focused interpretations, celebrating the car's adaptability. Regardless of approach, each owner participates in the continuation of a narrative that began over 2 decades ago. The M3's blend of accessibility and sophistication makes it both a collectible and a driver's companion. Today, the BMW M3 E46 occupies a rare space in automotive history. It bridges generations of enthusiasts, those who grew up dreaming of it and those discovering it now through revived interest in analog performance. Prices for clean examples continue to climb, but their appeal is not limited to collectors. Even used and well-driven models retain their essence. Every time one starts, revs, and rolls out onto a stretch of open road, it reaffirms its purpose. What the BMW M3 E46 ultimately represents is a philosophy. One that prioritizes engagement over automation, clarity over complexity, and experience over statistics. It reminds us that progress is not always improvement. Sometimes, refinement means knowing what to preserve. The E46 M3 preserved the joy of driving when it mattered most. In an era defined by transition, it captured permanence. And that permanence continues to inspire, proving that the connection between driver and machine remains one of the purest forms of human expression on wheels. The BMW M3 E46 leaves behind a legacy that extends far beyond its production years. It stands as proof that when design, engineering, and emotion align, the result becomes timeless. The car's balance, responsiveness, and natural feedback remain unmatched, even as technology pushes the industry toward automation. For many enthusiasts, it is more than nostalgia. It is a reminder that progress should never come at the expense of connection. The E46 M3 delivers that connection with every turn of the wheel, every perfectly weighted shift, every note of the S54's high-revving symphony. Over 2 decades later, the BMW M3 E46 continues to define the gold standard for driving purity. Collectors chase unmodified examples. Mechanics specialize in keeping them alive. Drivers still chase that moment when the tachometer sweeps past 7,000 and everything else fades away. It bridges generations of enthusiasts, uniting those who experienced it new and those who only know it as legend. Its enduring presence on roads and racetracks alike proves that true performance is not about dominance but about dialogue, a car and driver communicating in perfect clarity. As the automotive world moves deeper into electrification and autonomy, the BMW M3 E46 serves as an anchor to authenticity. It reminds us that the joy of driving is built on imperfection, on effort, on the subtle art of mastering something tangible. Each surviving example is a rolling testament to mechanical truth, a machine that rewards patience, discipline, and curiosity. That is why it continues to be celebrated not as a relic, but as a reference point for everything a performance car should be. The BMW M3 E46 will always represent a singular moment in automotive history. The last of the analog M cars to combine naturally aspirated precision with everyday usability. It remains relevant not because of its age but because of its integrity. Few vehicles capture the same emotional clarity or inspire the same devotion. Long after newer models surpass it in power and efficiency, the E46 M3 endures as a benchmark of engagement. For anyone who values the connection between human skill and machine response, it stands as both inspiration and invitation. To drive with intent, to feel every mile, and to remember why driving ever mattered in the first place.